Okay, so for today's project, you're going to need, I'm using the 48 needles jam it machine, which is like the Sentro machine. And you're going to need, I'm using number 4 worsted weight. I love this yarn in red metallic, and then also the white metallic Hobby Lobby. And this is a number 4. You can also use a number 3. And then you're going to need scissors, and you're going to need a yarn needle of any type, just as long as it's big enough to get your yarn through. Okay, we're going to start by casting on. So to cast on, you want to start with your white needle if you're using the Sentro. And you're going to go around that, leave a little bit of a tail. We're going to do a drawstring, so it doesn't need to be that big. And you're going to go behind the next one, in front of the next one, so every other one in front of the hook and behind the hook. Okay, and do that all the way around. Go slowly so you don't miss any. Like I almost did just there. Okay, then when you get to the last one, you should be behind that peg if you did it right. Then you're going to make sure you get it through the feeder on the other side of that peg. And make sure you, on the Sentro there's a little dip here, make sure you get it in there too or it won't feed. Now for the tension gauge, you just have to kind of play it by ear. For this yarn, I'm going to use, let's start with the middle one and see how it does. I haven't used this yarn on here yet. We're going to put our counter at 0, if you have a counter, and we're going to do 60 rows. This is going to be a reversible hat, so we'll do 60 of the red and then 60 of the white. So I'm going to put it in the 3rd tension hole. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, the one closest to me, because that other one seemed a little bit tight. I'm holding the yarn in my hand. I usually hold it like this and then hold the foot of the machine, because I don't have mine weighted to the table, which you'd probably have better luck if you did, but I need to move it around for the video. So okay, so the first few rows go slow. This tension seems to be good. You want to pull some of your yarn out of the middle, a good amount, so it doesn't get caught up, and then go slowly for the first 3 or 4 rows. Pulling a little bit more yarn. Seems to be liking it so far. This machine is kind of temperamental as far as yarns go. I found the thinner number 4 or number 3 works pretty well usually. This would make a great Christmas hat, but you could use it anytime. I'm in Florida, so I don't wear hats, but I was from Colorado, so before we moved here, I kind of missed the cold, not the snow though, but I do miss wearing my boots and my hats and my scarves. That's okay, I'm making them for other people that live in colder climates. Okay, so we're on row 8. So I'll meet you back here once we get to 60 and show you how to do a color change. Okay, I just finished 60 rounds and we're going to switch to the white now. I did get some tucked stitches. You can see them right here. I will put a link below on how to fix those. Jojo, I forget her last name, but she talks about drop stitches and tucked stitches and how to fix them, so I'll put a link to that. But I'm not going to worry about those right now. Okay, so here we want to, first of all, cut your red yarn. You don't have to leave that much of it, just this much is fine. Drop it down in the middle. Okay, and we want to make sure that this hook goes over the red. Okay, so we've got the white coming up, the white hook. Now we're going to put our white yarn, uh-oh, there's a knot in it. Okay, there we go. All we're going to do is lay it to the right of the white peg and put it in the feeder. So you want to make sure, like I said, it goes in that little knob right there of the feeder. Pull it down, and I like to hold these two together while it hooks. Make sure the white drops down and hooks the white needle drops down and hooks the white yarn. Then I tie it and I put it under this last peg, just loosely for now, and then we'll tighten it as we go. So now we're going to put this in the tension guide closest to me or closest to you and start winding. And I do a little bit slow, not that slow when I first do the color change. We're going to go another 60 rounds and hopefully we don't get drop stitches. Oh, the other thing, when this starts hitting the table, you want to roll this excess part up like a donut. I showed you this in my last video too, but let me show you this. Roll it up so that it's distributing the same amount of weight all the way around, so you don't get drop stitches or anything. And then just keep going, and I'll see you back here after we get another 60 rounds at 120. Okay? See you back then. Okay, I just finished my 120th row. Now, if you want for sizing, you can make it a little bit longer if you want a wider brim, or you've got someone with a bigger head. So it'll be longer, but I did 120. And also, this needle came with the Sentro, or my Jammet machine. I'm going to go ahead and use that to pick up the stitches because it's a little bit longer than the original one I had out. The other one I'll use for actual sewing the ends in. Okay, so we're going to want to leave kind of a long tail because we're going to have to pick up all these stitches off the machine. I'll show you how to do that. I'd say, I'm going to leave about 18 inches, I guess it is. Maybe a little bit longer. Okay, so you cut that off, take the yarn out of the feeder, and then you're going to thread it on your needle. And if you use a shorter needle, it'll still work. And this part you want to do slowly, especially if you're new. Make sure that last stitch there is behind the last peg. And then what we're going to do, let me get closer here, is we're going to come slowly turn your handle so that we're going to start with this peg that's to the left of the white peg and make it go down a little bit. I do where a couple of them are down, but just make sure you don't do too many because it'll drop the stitch. So you're going to pick this up, go in between these little 2 small pegs, put your needle in between there, and if you want, you can hold your finger down as you move this so you don't drop the stitch. Then slip your needle in between those 2 pegs and just slip it onto the stitch so that this is picking up your stitches so we can take it off the machine. Okay, so just do that slowly. You can do a few if you want, just be careful, a couple at a time. I'm still new at this, so I'm a little bit slow. So I'll meet you back here when we're done with this step. Okay, so I'm at the end here. I'm going to pick up my last stitch and then lift this off the machine, move the machine out of the way, and I'll show you how to finish it. So I'm going to take the needle off, and then we're going to unroll it. Oops, the other way. Move these out of the way. Okay, so we're going to stretch this. Oh, I love this yarn, it's gorgeous. And it is, I love this yarn. I didn't get any tuck stitches, I don't think, on the white side. Yeah, I think that has to do with the tension, but I have the tension the same on both, so I don't understand what happened, but it happens to everyone, so. And there is a way to fix it, but I don't know how yet. I guess I'll find out. So you want to stretch this out both ways, the long way and your width. Okay. And then we're going to just drawstring both ends. Okay. Well, drawstring one end for now. And then what you're gonna do, oh, sorry, let's see. We're gonna close this end up first. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna thread my needle onto the shorter needle. We've got one end drawstringed up here. And you wanna just make sure that all of this is even. Get your hole as tight as you can here, pull, don't break your yarn. And then you're gonna wanna just close this up. Just like this, a couple of times. And then I feed it under and then come out, kind of like doing a cross. And then I start knotting it. Go under this. Knot it again. Okay. Okay, then we're going to cinch up the other end. So you're going to basically just close this up. One end. Go on the other side. Knot it to secure it. Okay, and then once you get it secured, you just want to take your needle and go in between. That's what's nice about these double layered hats. You can go in between the layers, make sure it's not catching on this side. Take your needle through and then just clip it here. So you're basically doing the same on both sides. The way I did this side, okay? So then to reverse it, you just can either draw this, pull this one inside of this one. Oh my goodness. Mine is a little bit long. If you want to do less, you can, or more. And then you just roll this side up. And that's your white and your red. And then if you want the other way, you just fold it here where the color changes. Put this hat, this side of the hat inside this one. And then you've got your red on the cuff and the white on the main part. Now what you also can do, if you decide you like one side better than the other and you just want to wear it that way, you can just tack the hat, the inside, to this part of it, and you can put a little pom-pom on there, and vice versa if you like the other side better. Okay, so that's our reversible hat. A little big for me, but hey, it'll fit somebody's head. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thanks.